Alright boys, welcome, hope you're all doing well. Now I wanted to talk to you about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight actually, because obviously it recently just happened and it was a big success, so congratulations to both of them. But there's actually a lesson that I think I can teach you boys from this. There's a lesson we can all take from this, because this whole kind of like YouTube boxing thing that got sort of introduced a few years back, and the reason I think it's actually such, I think we can take a lesson from it is because think about these YouTubers, right? Not only is getting into boxing a great thing for everyone, such as, self-defense, it's one of the most important things that that all men should learn to do in our lives. It's something that we need to be able to do at some point, whether you like it or not. And, despite the fact, yeah, maybe you live in a place where you don't need to get into violence, or you're not the type of person to get into violence, it's always the best thing to do to learn how to do it anyway, because you'd rather be in a situation where, for one, you can protect everyone around you, and two, you can protect yourself when need be. You don't want to have to be in a situation where you find yourself in a position where you have to fight and defend yourself and others, and you can't do it. So it's important that we actually, it's very important that we learn that. Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because the YouTube boxing thing that was started ages ago, all right, and it was started with there was a few YouTubers who started doing it. But what we can take from this is that, think about those names that we had. There was like KSI, Jake Paul, whatever it is. They weren't boxers. They didn't go into the boxing ring and then just started boxing. You know what I mean? It was not, oh yeah, I'm a really good boxer, so I'm gonna ask to do this event and we're gonna do it. The boxing companies and stuff didn't look at them and say, oh yeah, they're really good boxers, let's get them into this event. What happened was, because of the people that they were, because of the huge names that they were, and because of the huge kind of following that they carried and the following that they brought to the sport, that was the reason that they were able to do these events, and the reason it was such a commercial success, and the reason it still is such a success to this day, is because simply they were like, yeah, we're big names, we have a lot of money, we can pay people, we can get the right venues, we can sort out the right bits and pieces for the event, and because we're such huge names with huge following, then they allowed them to come into the sport and allowed them to create events because of simply who they were. And there's a lesson we can take from this, because so many opportunities can be brought from just being a certain person and being a person of high authority and high status. It's simply, a thing of, you don't have to technically be good at everything, and you don't have to be perfect at everything, and you don't have to be the best at everything to sort of get these opportunities in whatever it is you want to do. Because, for example, we'll give YouTube, for example. Someone who let's say someone who wants to work with me, all right? Are they necessarily going to work with me because they believe I've got the best advice? Possibly. They may think that. They may think that they may think, yeah, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. There's no better advice out there, so I'm going to go to him. Fine, you may believe that, bro. But the main reason that someone would be to work with me and to, pay me as a client would be simply because of who I am, and because they trust who I am and the person that I am. Do you understand that? It's the same with the YouTube boxing. They bring these people into the sport because of who they are and because of what they bring, because of their personalities. The personalities that they have bring a lot of viewing, whereas the person that I am brings you the success that you want. Okay? There's many times in my life where I've literally paid someone to do something, not even because I think that what they can offer me is 100% going to work, simply because of who they are and because I trust them and because I like who they are. Whether it's a YouTuber or anything, do you know what I mean? And this is kind of how life works now. It's less about what obviously, yeah, you need the skills, you need to be able to help people, you need to be able to provide value 100%, you need to be able to be good at what you do. But it's more now about the fact that we can all just, if we are all this type of person that can be brought into something that has a lot of opportunities for us and other people, then it's amazing, bro. That's why I teach you a lot in my organization to become this person that, say, become the person that women want to date, become the person that people want to be friends with, become the person that people want to watch on social media. I teach all of this, right? And it's because I've done this myself. I've become this person now, nowhere near to the best that I can. I've got a long way to go. By no means am I perfect, bro. Like, there's loads of things I need to improve on, such as, skill-wise, such as, my speaking skills. Sometimes I'll stutter here and there in a video, and I know, you'll probably notice it, but, I'm not perfect, bro. And no one is, and it takes a long time to get to this point where we are so skilled in something that that's when people want to actually, only sort of pay us for our skill. A lot of the times, bro, someone will pay you and someone will work with you and someone will give you opportunities because of simply who you are. And that's not just with work and with business opportunities. That's, like I said, with dating, with anything, with making friends. It's the person that you are that gets you the success these days. Do you watch, it's same with entertainers, bro. You watch them because of who they are. You don't watch them because of simply what they say. Do you know what I mean? If someone's just, someone could say a joke and it would be like not that funny, but someone else could say the same joke and they say it in like a different way that makes it funny simply because of who they are. They are just a different person. They are a person that people want to watch. It's the same thing, bro. So that's why in my organization, I want to be able to teach you like how to literally become the guy who's attractive, who's able to attract women, who's able to make friends, who's able to get opportunities in different ways, build your social media stats, all this stuff. Obviously, if you want to go down that route, not everyone that works with me wants to go down the social media route of, I want to get loads of followers and stuff. But, being able to become the type of person that attracts money towards himself. All right. So it's an important message to learn, bro. And I thought about it as this whole Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing happened. I know it's obviously been like a bit ago. I'm a bit late to the party, you know what I mean? But it happened, and as it was all happening, as it was all building up, I was thinking to myself, this guy wouldn't actually be here right now because of, if it wasn't for who he was, but in the past. He's not here right now because of his boxing skills necessarily. He was only here because of the big name he carried and the big amount of following that he carried and that he brought to the sport. Okay? Otherwise, they'd have never just, that's like, I'd be like me, just randomly going up and being like, yeah, bro, can I just box Mike Tyson? Like, they'd be like, no, piss off. Not because I'm not a good boxer. I could be the world's best boxer. I could be literally better than Jake Paul. But because I don't carry a huge name and I don't carry a huge following, they're not gonna sign me on and say, yeah, go on, bro, just fight him. Like, they're not gonna do that. Because of who he is. Because of who he is has created these opportunities for himself. Because of who he is has created the networking that he's got, along with other YouTubers that have done it, and along with other people that have done that, sort of gone down that pathway. Okay, so that is something that I want to teach to you. Like, it's something that's very important. It's something I think that we can all take a lesson from it. If we can work hard on becoming this person who can attract women, attract money, attract friends, then we will succeed. Less, and I want you to focus a lot less on the practical sort of stuff. Because I talked to you about this so much, like you all want the autistic level details and stuff and the exact things to sort of do and say. And I tell you that stuff anyway, don't get me wrong, but I teach you all that stuff. But I want to dive deeper, and I teach you more how to literally become the guy that doesn't have to actually have these autistic level stuff taught to him, because he just knows, he just understands. He can figure stuff out. He works stuff out, like in the environment. He spots things. You become this guy that can create ideas for himself. That's what I teach. That's what I make you. Okay? And if you want that, link in the bio, bro. I promise you it'll be worth it. You'll be the attractive young man that you've always dreamt of being, rather than just being some fat fucking 40-year-old. When you grow up and you've just sat on your sofa not doing jack shit, watching TV, eating Domino's pizzas, bro. You want to be the guy that sat there and said, yeah, when I was younger, I was attractive, I was in shape, I was healthy, I did something with my life, I had lots of friends, I had experiences, I was able to make money. You want to be that guy, and that's exactly what I guarantee you, bro. Because, don't get me wrong, like I've said, nowhere near finished yet, but I've got this mindset that just attracts these things into my life, and I've got this mindset where I know I'm going to win, because it's just who I am. I've become that guy that wins, okay? And that's exactly what we make you into, bro. So it's a good lesson to learn, all right? I hope you can take a lesson from it. I hope that's helpful for you, bro. And yeah, keep going, brother. I'll see you in a bit.